Hey guys, it's Aaliyah with Open Doors, Open Hearts blog, and today I'm excited to talk to you about how we gave our back deck a refresh on the cheap. A lot of the items that we use on our back deck have been thrifted, and I can't wait to share them with you, especially the cushions. Since becoming a mom, I have learned that in so many ways, I, as the mom, set the tone for our day. And for me, I've learned that the best way that I can be in the right state of mind for that is to make sure I start my day off in a kind of peaceful and restful state. So while a back deck refresh may seem kind of like just another home project, for me it's a lot more than that, because the back deck is where I like to go in the morning and start my day off finding that peace. Being outside in creation, being able to soak in the sunrise and the fresh air and all of the sounds. I don't know if you can even hear them right now, just the sounds of the birds singing and the bugs buzzing and things like that. For me, it's just a really great way to start my day so that I am ready to take on whatever the day's challenges are going to be. Now, saying that, I am not 100% perfect at waking up early enough to make sure I have this intentional time out here every morning. But ever since we finished our deck refresh, I have been a whole lot more excited about getting out of bed at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning than I was before the deck was done. All of that said, I remember the first few years that we lived here. The deck had nothing. We did not have any furniture. We did not have a rug. We did not have a chimenea. We did not have plants. It was completely bare. The memories that I have are precious to me, and I will always remember them. In fact, working on this video and this blog post this week, my husband and I were talking about those times back when our girls were little and being out on the deck when there was nothing here. And we laughed and we looked back at those memories in fondness. So I'm going to share with you what we did. I'm going to share with you some ideas for giving your back deck a refresh, but just know that you do not have to spend money at all in order to reap the benefit of spending time outside. So number one is cleaning the deck. We've power washed the deck ourselves before. This year, our power washer was dead and was not working. And so we had somebody come do it for us. But if your power washer is not dead, then that is a completely free way for you to spruce up your back deck. And if you're doing this on a hot day, it's a nice way to kind of stay cool too. We also had a little bit of rust stains on our railings back here, so I scrubbed those down, and I also washed our chimenea because it was starting to get a little bit of a yellowy mold growing on the outside of it. So just cleaning the deck made the deck look 100 times better. The second thing that we did was stain the stairs. When we first moved in here, the deck was composite and the stairs were composite, but we wanted to redo the patio space that's down below the deck, and so we reworked the way that the stairs went from the deck to the patio. And when we did that, we just decided composite decking is super expensive and we couldn't find like an exact match to this. So we just decided that we would just use regular wood and then we would stain it. So that's what I did this year. I finally got those deck stairs stained and it makes such a big difference. I feel like the deck and the stairs and the patio are way more cohesive now that the deck stairs are like they match. They're not perfect, but they match. Third thing that I did was spray paint our patio furniture. So this patio furniture came from my dad as a hand-me-down. Like I said, we had nothing out here on the back patio, and then my dad was going to like update his back patio, so he was getting rid of this, and we wanted to know which kids wanted it, so my husband and I ended up getting it. It had some rust stains on it. It was starting to rust a little bit. So I just went to the local hardware store down the road from where we live, and I grabbed some black spray paint and I spray painted them black. I scrubbed, I got some steel wool to clean them first and get some of that rust off a little bit, and then I spray painted them black, and I think that made a huge difference to the way our back patio looks. So the fourth thing that we did to add life to our back deck and make it more inviting was add plants. And I love potted plants, just a pot on the floor. And so I have a cluster of potted plants over in the corner. I like to use herbs for a couple reasons. One, because I like to use them for cooking and drying them and preserving them and using them in cooking all year long. And then two, I like them because a lot of times I'll come out here and before I come out and even sit down, I'll just ruffle through the leaves of the different herbs, because then the aroma will come, and I do feel like it really helps cut down on like the unwanted bugs and the mosquitoes. So those are the main reasons why I use herbs, but you could use whatever plants that you prefer on your deck. Just adding plants, whether they're in a pot on the floor or they're up hanging on the railing, I think makes a huge difference in how inviting the space is. I like to use plants in my inside space because I feel like it brings so much life to my inside space, and I think it does the same thing outside on the deck. Okay, so the fifth thing is the cushions. I told you that was like the one thing that I was the most excited about sharing with you. You will never believe how much I got these cushions for. Our cushions were looking really rough. I accidentally left them outside all winter long, and I thought it would be fine. I would just get them in the spring and they would just be fine. We sprayed them and washed them, and there were still mold stains left on there. So I went to a garage sale and I saw a stack of cushions, and I was just kind of going through them, and I noticed one of them was different than the others. I didn't know what had happened, but it like didn't have the outside piece of fabric that is on around it. It was just like the cushion part. So I asked the people if I could just buy half of the cushions for $5 because they wanted $10 for the whole set. And the lady that was there was like, how about you just take all of them for $5? So I did. And then after I brought them home, I thought maybe I could find a cushion cover for that cushion that matched the rest of them. I still have not found a cushion cover, and I figure the worst case scenario is if I buy cushion covers for all of them, it is still significantly cheaper than going out and buying all brand new cushions. So I was super pumped. All of these cushions for $5. The sixth thing that we did was, while I've been out garage sailing a different time, I found an outdoor rug. This one was $7. So she had it marked for 10. I asked her if I could get it for 7 because it was a little bit dirty and it had a couple imperfections on it. And she said yes. So cushions and a rug for $12. And you cannot buy cushions or a rug by itself for $12, like anywhere. So I feel like that of all of the thrifting that I have done this year, like last week I shared a video about thrifting and like decorating with thrift store decor. Literally the rug and the cushions, like by far I feel like I won at thrifting this summer on those things alone. So those were just a matter of being patient. It's not the beginning of summer. I had to be patient and wait and wait and wait until I found the right things. So at the right price. So the 7th thing that I do, and I've talked about this a lot, it's just the way I like to decorate and it's the way I like my home to be, is less is more. So when you're out here scanning the deck, like there's not a whole lot of extra stuff. There's furniture, we have a chimenea, there's some plants in the corner, a table, like a coffee table. Generally speaking though, like that literally, not generally speaking, literally that is it. That is all that is out here. I don't have a bunch of extra stuff out here. I just want it to be simple and easy. I don't want this video to end with you thinking that like I come out here on the deck and I start my day perfect every day with a cup of coffee and my devotion time, and then I walk back in the house and I make the girls this wonderful breakfast and we all laugh and everything's beautiful. In fact, I'm sure most of you know that that's just not the case. That real life is that there are mornings that I hit the snooze button. So if you feel like you're in a moment or you're in a season where things are spiraling out of control and you just can't get control of them, one, know that you're not alone and that we all feel that way sometimes. But then number 2, what I like to do is just pick one thing and do that one thing that I know is going to help me like get back in my routine. And on that note, I just really feel like I need to say that none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all get out of rhythm. We all have moments where we're letting our life kind of spiral out of control into like a crazy cycle. And I just want you to know, like, something I feel like God has been telling me is even when we're in a crazy cycle and we feel like we can possibly not be used by God at all, that He can still use us in our crazy mess. You can literally be living in a crazy cycle and your bed's not made and your room is a mess and you're not waking up in the morning and you're not starting your day off right and you're losing your temper with your kids. You're not making a healthy breakfast every day. All the things, guys, all the things. And He can still use you. If you let Him, He can still use you. You are not too far gone. I'm not too far gone to be used by God just because your life is not this beautiful package with a beautiful bow. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, I hope that you hit the subscribe button down below, and I'll see you next time.